Right. But for Walker, it's hard to compare a guy to like Johnny Manziel. But since that's the style, I mean, is he that type of guy that can just kind of run around back there and make
He does.
crazy plays?
He did on film. Now, I'm not comparing him to Johnny Manziel.
Right.
But that's the kind of what I saw in film.
And then what does Danny Clark bring? Heard he's got a ton of arm strength, but still is a little bit raw. How would you kind of characterize him?
I think all of that's probably accurate. Also, I think his leadership qualities, how he loves the game. He is going to be a sponge, and he's going to be a guy that everything you ask him to do, he's going to do. And, it'll be interesting to see him when the bullets fly, and as we get going, it's going to be a good group to watch.
All right, thanks, Ted.
What's your plan? But I'm going to ask about taking the one running back. Is this all you intended to take?
Absolutely. That gives us 4 on scholarship with one ball. So if you have 5, there's probably a little disgruntled. You can have 5 if you have maybe 2 seniors, or you. So it really depends on the classification of when you put 5 on the roster. Now, you got 4 right now, and one's hurt, and he's not ready this spring. So that is a concern in terms of depth. But you have Saeem, and you've got AJ, and you've got Benny Snell, and then we've got a couple walk-ons that will be there for the spring. So that'll be good. Those 3 need as many reps as they can get. And you'd love Bryant to be a part of that, but it is what it is. He'll be ready to go in the fall. So, and if those 4 can stay healthy, then you're in great shape.
What do you like about Bryant?
When I had him in camp, his attention to detail, his size, speed ratio, very explosive, great hands. I got to coach him in camp, so that's what I liked about him.
I mean, is he an every down back? I mean, because how good are his hands? I was kind of curious. It seems
great hands. Great hands, soft. Great hands.
What with Lynn Bowden coming in the offense, do you see him? Where do you see using him the most?
He's an athlete. I don't know. I mean, everybody's. I think he's a great athlete. You watch him on film; he's dynamic. He could play slot. He could play wildcat because he can throw it, and then he could play running back. I could see him being all 3 of those positions, But in that, then you've got to learn. You got to make sure that he can do all that, and then he's got to prove that he can do it. Which I think he's going to come in and compete his rear end off. That's what I liked about him.
But the potential is you've got 4 players in one with that kind of versatility.
Yeah, maybe 3.
3.
Yeah, the receiver, the wildcat, and the running back, and I think that's a pretty good deal. Again, you don't put that on a kid. I would never want to put all that on somebody unless he can do it. You start him maybe 1 or 2, and then if he can handle it, man, then it's great.
Talk about the comfort level of you and your kids and being in the same offense for 2 years in a row. They've had 3 different coordinators since they've been here.
That's going to be exciting. I think they're excited, and I'm excited because this spring I think we'll play even faster, and I think that we can really get detailed on some things that as we're watching spring cut-ups, what we know we have to get better at. And I think it's really going to help us. It should. You're going 2 years in the same offense, and for them not to have to learn again, I think we'll be so far ahead this spring. So that'll be. I'm excited to see that next step.
But not just this, but also all those spring practices. How can you tell how much that's going to help? Not the spring, the bowl practices heading into the spring.
Yeah, they're getting those young guys in there. They've already. AJ, that was huge for him. Just thinking at my position. And then all those old linemen got some reps. So I think hopefully that retention part of it will be a lot easier when we go into the spring.
I knew you were a coach.